to improve our row crop operation and bring income and growth to the county, all while preserving our agricultural enterprise and making our operation more sustainable. Jasper County is a right to farm county, and this expansion is well within protected use of this land.
All those in favor of number 4 signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Number 5.
The use and value of the area adjacent to the property included in the variance will not be affected in substantially adverse manner. Because this farm is located in a very rural area with mostly farm ground in all directions, by adding the hog barns to the parcel, the land value of the adjacent properties will not be affected adversely and may even increase, as the manure generated in the barns can be used to fertilize crops in the area. This is being proposed in a highly agricultural area.
All those in favor of number 5 signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? And number 6.
No appreciable environmental harm will result from the use allowed by the special exception, or if such harm could result, such resulting harms are eliminated or reasonably mitigated by best practice measures taken by the applicant or others in relation to the use of the special exception. All local, state, and federal environmental rules will be followed at this operation. All permits will be obtained prior to construction. The site will be IDEM permitted and regulated. The new construction prints will be required to be built to strict IDEM requirements. IDEM will require that the site inspections and records will be kept on site and available for IDEM compliance inspectors at any time. This ensures that the farm is in compliance with all state and federal rules. The farm will have to renew their IDEM permit with on-site inspections every 5 years. Additionally, all of the manure land applications will be applied following all of the Office of the Indiana State Chemist Category 14 rules and guidelines by a licensed applicator.
All those in favor of number 6 signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? And then all those in favor of adopting these findings as fact signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Okay, it is approved. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, we have one more cause on the BZA. It's BZA-13-26, Michael Herz. It's a variance in Union Township, a lot width variance. Assume you're the applicant?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead and state your name and address for the record, and you got 15 minutes.
Okay. Michael Herz, address is 6232 West, 650 North, in Union Township. I'm here tonight to seek a variance on a road frontage requirement to build a single family home on a piece of property that I own. Currently reside at 6232 in that house. That house is it's a different parcel. Eats up majority of the road frontage on 650 North there. The farm that I own behind my house it's 26 acres. It has limited road frontage in 2 spots. But when you combine the two, it doesn't give you the requirement necessary. So been working with Mary. First step was to go in front of the drainage board and get approval to put a lane in on the 75-foot easement, because that would be my intention. So I got that approval with the understanding that I would sign a hold harmless agreement, which was executed last week. So I'm here tonight to go on to the next step and seek a variance on the road frontage requirement.
Mary, any background on this one? Anything unusual or?
Just that he's got 2 frontages. It's not enough, basically, is the thing to get back to where he's going to build. I mean,
If you could come forward, for my clarification, where are you looking to build here? Right here. So the lane is
Along the Rockwell.
it's going to be right there.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we build it back.
Okay. And then so this and this are your frontage, right? Okay.
This is the house.
Oh, you own this house?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. That's where we're at right now.
Okay, I got you. All right.
So we just build back.
Gotcha. Okay. You guys got any questions for the applicant while they're front and center? Okay, you can have a seat. We'll open up for public comment again on this particular cause, BZA -13-26. Anyone wish to speak on this cause? Yep. Have you signed the sheet, sir?
Just want to make a comment.
Excuse me, did you sign the sheet over there?
No.
Please do that before. Thank you. While he's doing that, if anyone came in late, we have a sign-in sheet for all causes on BZA and Plan Commission. So if you wish to speak on one of those causes, that'll help make things efficient if you do that ahead of time. You can come on forward, sir. Yeah, go ahead and state your name and address for the record.
Name's Harold Ritchie from Wakefield. I just want to say I haven't heard anything about what this data center, what's supposed to do for the average person in our county.
This is not the data center, sir.
What's that?
This is a totally different cause. This is the BZA.
This is what?
This is the Board of Zoning Appeals. We have not gotten to the Plan Commission yet. That's the next meeting.
That's the next meeting, huh?
It's right after this one.
Looks to me like we need to vote on this. I think there's a lot more people against it.
Sir, you can speak when we get to that cause, okay? All right. Anyone else wish to speak again on this particular cause, BZA -13-26? You signed the sheet?
Yes, I
Okay.
did.
Go ahead. Dennis.
Josh Kingma, 8901 West, 1000 North, DeMont, Indiana. Speaking for myself and my father-in-law, who has ground very nearby to this proposal. I guess I understand your frontage issue, but we have a public drain right there. We finally got it cleaned about 5 years ago. I think he wants to put his lane right on the right of way for cleaning of that public drain. I'm not 100% sure on that, but we have to keep that right of way open for that drain to be cleaned, public drain ditch. So, I guess I need more explanation from him to, I guess, where exactly does he want to put this lane? Because I think it's like right over top of where the access for the public drain cleaning would be.
He'll have a chance to respond.
Okay.
Anyone else on this particular cause? Once, twice. Okay, we'll close public comment, and if you want to come back forward as the applicant, you have 5 minutes to address any of the comments.
Okay. I think his concern was where the lane would be for the proposed home. The lane would be within the 75 foot easement. The drainage easement is where the lane would be. I went in front of the drainage board, brought this proposal to them. They did approve it with the understanding that I would sign a hold harmless agreement, that if the ditch did ever need to be dipped again, that I would be responsible for my own lane. The county would not be, or whoever they hire to dredge the ditch would not be responsible for my lane. I'd have to fix it later. And I don't have any issue with that.
Did they have any comment on the lane being disruptive to
No.
dredging or cleaning?
No,
Okay.
it will not stop a dredging operation.
Anything else? And you want to, like I said, rebut? You got,
I don't think so.
okay. All right, you can take a seat. What's this? Oh, Mary just handed me drainage board approval. Is that the minutes from that? Is that what that is? Yeah. I'll pass that around. Here you go, Scott. Okay, so it's back to the board here. Any questions, comments, discussion?
Well, since the one concern has been addressed, that it wouldn't affect the cleaning of the ditch, I would make a motion to approve that.
Been moved by Dave to approve the variance. Do we have a second?
I second.
Seconded by Scott. I'd ask the applicant to come back up, sorry. You have a copy of your findings of fact on the development standards?
Yes.
There's 3 of those.
Yes.
If you would read the county portion and then also your answer, and then give us a chance one by one to vote.
The approval of this variance will not be injurious to the public health, safety, morals, or general welfare of the community. The approval of this variance will not injure the public health, safety, or welfare because the current frontage provides ample space for a safe driveway with clear traffic sight lines whenever access is developed. The single-family home will generate minimal traffic, ensuring no disruption to local traffic or agricultural machinery. A lot can easily accommodate a future driveway with ease, access, and maneuverability. The home will maintain a deep setback, preserving open space character of the rural community.
All those in favor of number 1 signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Okay, number 2.
The use and value of the area adjacent to the property included in this variance will not be affected in a substantially adverse manner. The approval of this variance will not substantially affect adjacent property use or values because the home will maintain a deep setback, fully preserving the open space and privacy of neighboring homes and farms. The project will not generate heavy traffic, noise, or environmental hazards. By keeping the land intact rather than subdividing it, this variance protects local land management and helps maintain stable, strong property values.
All those in favor of number 2 signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? And number 3.
The strict application of the terms of this ordinance will result in practical difficulties in the use of the property. The strict application of this frontage rule will result in practical difficulties because it would deprive the owner of standard beneficial use of the land to build a single-family home. The lot possesses road frontage, which is fixed, a physical condition of the property that cannot be expanded without buying out neighboring property owners. Enforcing the literal standard leaves a buildable parcel permanently landlocked and only approved for farming.
All those in favor of number 3 signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? All those in favor of adopting these development standards signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Okay, it is approved.
Thank you.
That's our last cause for the evening on the BZA. When's the next meeting? If we have an agenda?
July
It's not fair time, right? No.
20th.
Week before fair. Okay. So July 20th. What's that, Kelly? We'll be still
basically fair time, but.
okay. Anybody have anything else? If not, entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion.
The move to adjourn. Do we have a second?
I second.
Seconded to adjourn. All those in favor of adjourning this meeting of the BZA signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Meeting is adjourned. Plan Commission will be starting here shortly.
Yeah. Doing all right, yeah. Your wife's monitor's working really good.
Yeah, I hear you. My wife helped put it in. What? I said my wife helped put it in.
What are you doing, Jake? Get enough water? 20. Tell me about it.
Yeah.
Is that the guy from the flat? What's that? Is that the? Ryan introduced me to somebody back there. He said that, Ryan said, I think that. Yes. Ask him. What I thought.
That's all we got. Yeah.
Atlanta.
Kelly, Mary, you guys ready on this one? Okay, we will call the June meeting of the Jasper County Plan Commission to order. We do have a quorum, 6 members present, 3 absent. First item on the agenda is approval of the May 26 minutes. Those were sent out. If anybody has any edits, questions, if not, entertain a motion to approve those minutes. Moved by Dave to approve. Support. Seconded by Jake. All those in favor of approving the May 26 Plan Commission minutes signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Okay, minutes are approved. We have 2 causes on tonight's agenda. The first one is cause PC-16-26. Terrence Sprouse, rezone A1 to A2 in Gillum Township for a proposed 2-lot subdivision. You'd state your name and address for the record and for the audience, and you have 15 minutes.
Terry Sprouse at 6112 North 600 East in Madeiryville. And we're requesting a rezoning. I have a 10-acre lot surrounded by corns and beans. And I'm looking to be able to build a house at the south end of the lot for my daughter's family to get my grandkids close to me. That's pretty much it.
Can you come forward and just show me where exactly you're wanting to? So that's what that dashed. Okay.
I tried to guess as to approximately 2.5 acres, so that's what that was.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Any questions for the applicant while they're forward on this one?
What is this red line on this map?
That's property line.
Yes, this is actually, at one time, this was all 40 acres. When I bought this portion from the other individual, he decided for whatever reason to divide it into this section, which is the woods. This at one time was an air strip. So that's what that was. He wasn't sure. He has since sold that property to somebody else, but it still stayed as 2.
Okay, so this is not your property here.
Just a
Okay,
black out.
okay, all right, thank you.
Any other questions for the applicant at this time? Okay, you can have a seat. So we'll open it up to public comment again on this particular cause, PC-16-26. Anyone wish to speak, please sign the sheet. If anybody came in late, we have sheets for all causes, including the 2 Plan Commission causes. Please sign those before you come forward. Anyone? Okay, we will close comment on this particular cause. I guess any questions for the applicant and or discussion and or motion?
If there's no concerns, I would make a motion to approve the rezone.
No, I second that. Been moved by Dave to approve the rezone, seconded by Eric. All those in favor of approving the rezone signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Okay, so this goes with a favorable recommendation to the commissioners. What's the date on that meeting?
July 6th is the next.
So this will go to the commissioners meeting on July 6th for final approval. Okay. Moving on here. Brings us to PC-17-26. The applicant is Amazon Data Services slash NIPSCO. It's a primary approval for a one-lot industrial subdivision, 318 acres. Yeah. So whoever is the applicant, they would come forward. If you'd state your name and address, you have 15 minutes to speak.
Am I on?
Yes. Yes.
Thanks. Good evening. My name is Brandon Dickinson. I represent the applicant. I'm an attorney at Denton's with an address of 10 West Market Street, 2700 Market Tower, Indianapolis, Indiana. Tonight we have a preliminary plat approval that we've brought to your attention. And again, this is a very administrative item. We are merely redrawing imaginary lines on a site to make sure that we meet all of the other applicable code. So the Unified Development Code for the county says the purpose of a primary plat review is to provide you, the commission, with the opportunity to review the details of a subdivision of land to determine compliance with the code and to ensure statutory requirements within Indiana code for subdivision of land are met. And based on the Jasper County Unified Development Code 20.90.15E, all filing criteria has been satisfied. Public hearing notice signage was installed. And again, this is a reverse subdivision, so we're not taking a big piece of land and dividing it up. We're more so combining multiple parcels together. Traditionally, the reason that a subdivision comes to the Plan Commission is because there's an interest in not letting people create properties that are so small that it's not feasible that those properties would ever be developed or sold. And again, this is the opposite. We're combining NIPSCO territory land with the land that we have provided to be part of the project. And I believe the plat was submitted to the county.
Yes.
I didn't know if you wanted to pull it up. Okay, no worries. And so if it pleases the commission, I can go through the findings one by one for this particular instance of reverse subdivision. Finding number one, the subdivision of land is consistent with the Jasper County Comprehensive Plan. The proposed subdivision supports the comprehensive plan's goals related to economic development, industrial growth, and infrastructure investment. The site is appropriately located within an established industrial area. Recall, obviously, that NIPSCO is right next door, and it's the most industrial site in the county, probably, and is consistent with the planned use designation. Finding number two, the subdivision of land satisfies the development requirements of the Jasper County Unified Code. The proposed plat satisfies the applicable subdivision type requirements by consolidating existing parcels into a configuration that supports the proposed development while complying with all other requirements of Chapter 20.60. Finding number three, the subdivision of land satisfies the standards of Chapter 20.70 Jasper County Code design standards. This preliminary plat complies with the applicable design standards related to lot configuration, access, rights-of-way, easements, and infrastructure planning. The site includes primary access from County Road 1450 and secondary access from County Road 300 East, and emergency access from County Road 1350. Adequate access is provided. Proposed roadway improvements fit within the existing 60-foot right-of-way. Finding number four, the subdivision of land satisfies any other applicable provisions of the Unified Development Code. The parcels in question are zoned industrial 2, and proposed subdivision complies with the applicable zoning, subdivision, and development standards requirements in the Unified Development Code. The design team has addressed all county preliminary plat review comments. A technical review will be performed by the county at the future utility ILP and building permit submittal. Finding number 5, the subdivision of land satisfies the construction requirements of Jasper County's construction standards. The proposed infrastructure and site improvements have been designed in accordance with applicable county construction standards. The drainage design has been approved by the Drainage Board, and the rough grading ILP has received conditional approval contingent upon finalization of the road use agreement. Necessary utility infrastructure can be extended to serve the development. Private water and sanitary services are proposed to be extended to the site from the NIPSCO property. Detailed engineering plans will continue to be reviewed through subsequent permitting processes to ensure full compliance with applicable Jasper County standards prior to construction. So pursuant to the Jasper County Unified Development Code, if the Plan Commission determines that the application and preliminary plat with the preliminary plat comply with the standards established in the subdivision control ordinance, the commission shall grant approval. Based on the findings that have been outlined, the proposed preliminary plat satisfies the applicable approval criteria and is eligible for approval. The subdivision of land is consistent with the comprehensive plan. The subdivision complies with Chapter 20.6 subdivision types. The subdivision of land complies with design standards. The subdivision of land complies with all other applicable provisions of the Unified Development Code, and the subdivision of land complies with Jasper County construction standards. We are not here today to approve the use of the land or any items related to it. The task at hand for the Plan Commission is to review the preliminary plat, and that will be the extent of what we are presenting here tonight. We've provided all information, as I stated, to the county, and we've met all the objective ordinance requirements under Jasper County Code, and we would respectfully request approval of the reverse subdivision to enlarge the 3 parcels that are impacted by this reverse subdivision. Happy to answer any questions that the commission may have.
So this is a combination of 3 parcels,
Yeah, it's pins. Do you want me to read off the pins or?
just 3 parcels.
3
but
parcels.
Just
Yeah.
get an idea, because it is unusual to bring them together. Not that it can't be done, but normally it's like you said, subdividing to sell off a lot or something. So
Right, and the 3 parcels combination would be 318 acres.
anybody on the Plan Commission have any questions while the applicant is standing before us? Anything at this time? Okay, if you want to have a seat.
Thank you.
Before we get into public comment, I understand we have the Jasper County third party BFNS civil engineer that has looked at this. Mary, is that correct? Are they present? Yeah, if you would come forward, sir. We'd like to hear your comments on this. Just state your name and address for the record.
Sure. Bill Graylick with Butler, Freeman and Seifert. Our address is 8488 Georgia Street in Maryville, Indiana. Yeah, we have reviewed the subdivision plat and provided comments. We've gone back and forth, I believe, 3 times with the surveyor, and they've addressed all of our comments, so we recommend approval.
Pat, this is the letter, so passing that around, that the official in writing.
I have another copy if anybody.
Any questions for a third party while they're up here? Anybody? So all the edits and things, I'm sure there was a lot of back and forth and That's all.
I think it
been-
was like 16 items.
It's all been
You know,
addressed.
Yes, it has. Every one of them.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Okay, so we'll go ahead and move on to public comment again on this particular cause, PC-17-26. If you wish to speak on this particular cause, and you haven't already, please sign the sign-in sheet, and you'll have 5 minutes per to speak if you wish. So whoever wants to go first. Kelly, you want to read off the list maybe? We'll just go with that on this cause. I know she was keeping them separate.
Hi. I'm
Yeah, go ahead. Just state your name and address for the record, please.
Gigi Norton Green, 347 East South Street, Wheatfield, Indiana.
Go ahead.
And I was here this morning at the meeting and everything seemed a little vague. It was a lot of commitments. None of the commitments were addressed. I don't know what commitments they were talked about, and incentives, which was the fire and the sheriff and the water for Wheatfield. Well, I like my well water, and to get city water that I got to pay a bill for every month. And I just think in my brain that there is some kind of premonition that maybe our wells will go dry if going to implement city water. And I'm concerned about the 314 gas diesel tanks that they want to put on that site. How do they seal them underneath so they don't leak and contaminate our soil? And are they removable? When are they removable? Is that water going to be fresh water or potable water that they're going to be using for the data center? How does it affect the local farming? I didn't hear that much this morning. So these are just the concerns that I have, and my opinion this morning was a lot of millions of dollars that'll go to the county, but no amount of money is we all breathe the same air, all drink the same water, and I don't think it's worth it. And they were doing research for the Hobarts and how the bird population is going to be destroyed with the data center that they're proposing in Hobart, and the greenhouse gas emissions that it's going to pollute the air. So that's just some kind of concerns that I have about this data center going in. Thank you.
Okay. Please. I just ask that you hold any applause, any outbursts, so we can keep the meeting moving and be fair to everyone in here so that they can be heard. So who's next?
Steve Berlinger.
Can you hear me okay?
Yep.
Good evening, everybody. First of all, I consider a privilege to be up here, so thank you.
Yeah, state your name and address for
Steve Herlinger, 374 East Grove Street, Wheatfield, Indiana.
Go ahead.
The last 30 years I've been in telecom. This morning I couldn't make your meeting because I've been dealing with outages up in Porter County and Ann Arbor up in Jasper County. We had a bunch of towers that were knocked down and I've been responding to that. So I'm in telecommunications. The last 30 years I've been speaking for Verizon, AT&T, and T-Mobile. I've traveled nationally and internationally for them, dealing with new towers. Also, I help write in 6 different states ordinances for counties and cities regarding ordinances for telecommunications. This data center falls right in line with that kind of use. The chips they're going to be using puts out RF emissions. No one's even talked about electromagnetic energy that these put out. I've seen videos at data centers where they take witches. I can show you where they put sparks come out of the ground with these witches that they're holding, copper rods. The thing that concerns me, I've read the minutes for the previous meetings. This should have never been allowed. What I'm asking for is this be completely rescinded and that we slow down, we take it to Wheatfield, and we allow Wheatfield as a partner with Jasper County to have some input. The reason being, I didn't see any kind of justification study up front, no propagation maps at all. That surprised me. Really, it really surprised me. I've had conversation with attorneys regarding that, where I've seen municipalities not honor that piece of having environmental studies, RF emission reports, studies for the water, what's going to happen to the water, wells, all different kind of things. And I wasn't aware that they're proposing that we're going to have to go on city water. This is something new to me. So the economical impact this is going to have to a lot of people, including myself. Like I said, I've been traveling the last 8 years speaking for Verizon, T-Mobile, and AT&T nationally and internationally. And when I came back and moved back 7 months ago, this was like brought right to my footstep. And I was just like shocked that we were there looking at a data center. The data centers nationally have been destructive. They've been using twice as much water than reported. The RF emissions are twice as bad as what they're reported. And what I see tonight was shouldn't be allowed as a preliminary drawing. That should be a final rendering. We should know exactly what infrastructure is going in that building and what's coming out. I should know exactly what those buildings look like. But that's a preliminary. Typically, you're not even allowed to go in for telecommunications and get them a prelim. It has to be 100, a final drawing, rendering of what this looks like. At this time, I would ask that this be denied and that we look at even rescinding and that we go back and give Refield a chance for input. And let's slow this down a little bit. Jasper County is a great county, and I ask that we just be partner up with Wheatfield. Give us a chance to put some input on this so we do this right. That's all I'm asking. Thank you so very much.
Thank you. Georgette, I'm going to butcher it, Aguilar. You can state your name and address for everyone as well.
Hi, my name's Georgette Aguilar. My address is 197 East 650 North, Rensselaer, Indiana. Even though my address is Rensselaer, our property is much, much closer to Wheatfield. I can get there in 5 minutes. I'm very nervous. Basically, what he touched on is the fact that I think we need to slow down. Your most valuable resource is your people. And your people are very concerned about this. What's a plus is that there are a lot of data centers already up around the country. And if you do the research, there's a lot of weeping and wailing by the locals. The light pollution, even going as far as 10 miles from the data centers, people go out in their country acreage and at night and they can't see the stars. They're not enjoying a campfire. Their water, the data centers, the people that are promoting them are saying, well, the water issue, they're recycling the water now, but that's still using a tremendous amount of water. People, it's almost like they acted like, well, that's not going to be as much water usage because they're recycling it. What's happening to the water while it's being recycled, where the runoff goes, what's in it. There's just so many concerns. Of course, people are concerned about their property values. Nobody's going to want to buy their home when they see, when we bought our homes, there was no data center, no enough. You go to sell your house and the people can see there's a data center nearby and they're like, nah, never mind, I'll move on. The animals, we have to care about animals. They affect everything. We need our birds and our bees and every kind of animal. God made it that way. He put everything in motion that worked together. The things we're doing, the way the technology and the things that are happening in the world that are affecting us in our natural way of living, it's really having an impact. And the noise pollution, I'm sure you've heard of, that affects the people and the animals. People can't sleep. There's been all kinds of studies about the impact of your sleep being disrupted. The thing that really, I'm 71 years old. I'm not going to live long enough, most likely, to really feel as much of the impact as my children and my grandchildren. The decisions we're making today, they will live with. And it does matter how we move forward. Slowing down just seems prudent. And I'm not even coming close to everything, but the bottom line is This does have forever consequences. A lot of this isn't irreversible. It's irreversible once you go there. So I just implore you. I know that this county is known for Christian morals and loving the Lord. And I was looking in the scriptures, and there are scriptures all over, but specifically in Colossians and Ephesians that tell remind us to do our work as unto the Lord, because ultimately he is the one that oversees these things. This is his land. This is his people. And I would just ask you to protect us as much as you can. Thank you.
Thank you. Myra, is that right, Mary, or Myra Robinson?
Hello.
Hello. Go ahead and state your name and address.
Myra Robinson, 351 East, 1500 North, Wheatfield. I'm here also. I agree with all the people behind me, and I support our community on their feelings of the data center. I'm going to go a little step further personally, as I have in previous meetings. We live on 1500 North, which is the main entrance for all the trucks that's coming in and out with the loads. We have over 300 trucks daily on our road now, on a county road. It's dangerous. We've already had accidents on that road. I'm requesting the county, whoever, NIPSCO, come out and clear our road. We live in the woods, to clear that our side of the road of the trees and stuff, so we can see these trucks coming, because we live right at the end of a hill and they fly down that road. It's not safe there anymore. It's not safe. I was mowing today and couldn't even go up and mow the top of my driveway, because they were just passing one right after another. And these are big rigs. So I think just on our road alone, and it's super dangerous. The highway is getting more dangerous with all these big rigs. So that's all I have to say. Is I would, wish that somebody could come and maybe take care of the road, or talk to us and let us know what's going on our road, since it's so busy, how long it's going to last, what we can expect. I think you at least, we at least you owe us that. We also have a big event every year. It's in October for our community. We've done it 12 years now. It draws hundreds of people. We have 2 homes on our road alone that there's lots of people that come. I don't know if we should do it this year. That's going to affect our community. A lot of families look forward to this event from all over. So I would like, I've asked before for someone to come talk to us personally, since we live on this road and we're super, super busy. I haven't heard nothing from nobody. So I'm going to request that one more time. And that's all I have.
Thank you. Martha Mary? Martha Mary, is that right? Murray? Yep. Okay.
My name is Martha Mary. I live at 2267 West 1400 North in Wheatfield. I have been doing some research. I've got a couple papers here. One is all of Jasper County, and the yellow part is all of the northern part of the county. And I wanted to let you know, in Jasper County, total well depths are typically 25 to 50 feet, with saturated sands and gravels up to 42 feet in thickness. It says at the bottom of my page here, much of the Kankakee Aquifer system includes unconfined outwash deposits. Therefore, this system is at high risk of contamination. My concern is the water. I only live roughly about 4 miles from where the data center is going in. I have livestock, I have cattle, and I have horses. If this water gets contaminated, if the data center does go through, I want to know, are you guys going to make them put up any kind of a bond to protect our wells? And I also, a few months ago, seen a hearing on Facebook up in Michigan where they're going through the same thing. There were two women who are professionals in this, and they said even, because I heard that the town of Wheatfield was considering doing city water. They stated that even if the water got contaminated, even if it went through all the filtration system for city water, it will not take all of the contaminants out. So there again, my concern is the water. If anything happens to that, to our well, I can't even sell my property because who's going to buy it if they don't have any water? So that's my concern. And I would appreciate you guys considering, the water situation. There's another paper I have here that states, let me find it. And this is all from the DNR, by the way. It's not from Purdue or any place like that. It's from DNR. Static water levels are shallow in the Kankakee River floodplain and are usually less than 20 feet deep. Wells typically are shallow and few exceed depths of 50 feet. So most of the wells in the all of the Kankakee aquifer are typically no more than 50 feet. So, very high risk of contamination. And that's my biggest main concern. And I'll give you guys these. So you can...
Thank you. Okay, Tyler Bridges.
Hello, Tyler Bridges from 729 Apache Lane, Lowell, Indiana, which I know it's not in Jasper County, but Lowell is also dealing with a approval of a data center in Eagle Creek Township. I'm running for Indiana State House District 11. Wheatfield is within that district, so I felt necessary to speak out against this. First off, I appreciate you guys actually listening to the speakers. I've been to a couple of these and some people have been on their phones, so I appreciate that. Second off, I think the expectations from many of these people within the room is that you give a unfavorable recommendation for this, or at least defer it. From what I've heard, it's the deferment can at least allow you guys to give yourself a month to look over this and whatnot. But I also want to make the point, right, that the reason why people are like, oh, we should have these is because of the economic development. It's Amazon. It's a big corporation. Do you really think that they are picking Jasper County Wheatfield because they're like, ooh, let's develop this area? It's a big corporation. They're at bottom line, they're trying to make vast amounts of money. This is these people's land, their water, their agriculture.
Please.
It is, they are going to be hearing the loud noises, the decibel rate from this. They're going to be hearing the construction. Their wells are going to be affected. Their land is going to be affected. The light that is emitted from this is going to be affected. And I know that you guys know this, right? You are public servants for a reason. You hopefully care about the people behind me. So just make sure that we're remembering that fact. You guys have the ability to stop this. I know that it's always, oh, the next guy can do it, the next guy. Well, you can defer it, make them wait a month. If they really want it, they can wait. Or push that unfavorable recommendation, please. Thank you very much.
Tanya Salyers? Did I say that right?
Hi, yes, I'm Tanya Salyers. My address is 232 Ritchie Lane, Wheatfield, Indiana. I had a few questions. As the gentleman was up here representing this data center, he used a term. He said industrial subdivision. And something just kind of didn't set well with me on that. So I looked this up, and the term industrial is commonly used to describe anything related to industry, manufacturing, or large-scale production, which this is. It can also refer to companies in the production of goods. So we're broad stroking this with a industrial subdivision. Does that now, if this is approved and it goes forward, is it okay then, well, we already have this blanket of industrial subdivision. We can have a data center. I can build a nuclear power plant. I can build anything large scale that's going to support said data center. My other questions were, okay, will there be any computer chips or components that are made in China that will be utilized in the building of this data center? Because if there is, I believe that puts us at a homeland security risk. And we need to think, outside of just one little thing. What happens if okay, let's build it, let's do this. We're going to have a little industrial revolution in Wheatfield. We're going to build this data center. At what cost? Our children's future, their health, the quality of air, water, and possibly for national security. What if you have somebody who lives in this area, who works for the federal government, who has classified or top secret things? Maybe they're on their phone. They're messaging the president. They're messaging whoever. And it's collecting all this data into the center that has chips and components that have been made in China. Have we not now violated a Homeland Security Act and put our country at risk? Have we not? That would be my question. So we have to ask these. Now, the other question I thought, okay, the proposed town water. We can make this all, well, we'll all have town water. If I own my own, if I own my own property, which technically never happens. If we own our own property, who is anybody to tell me I have to go on water that is provided by a city? I live in the country for a reason. I don't want fluoride, and I do not want to drink chlorine. I personally don't. I mean, I'm not going to shame anybody else who wants to drink fluoride and chlorine, and I understand you have to do those things when you have water treatment facilities. But that's just not for me and my family, and I don't feel like I should be forced to do something I don't want to do. We don't live in communist China. I don't live in Russia. And I will not submit my family to the idea that I will own nothing and I'll be happy.
Okay, I have no one else on the list. Does anyone else wish to speak? Sir, I need you to sign the list, please. Did he sign the wrong one? Okay. Come on forward. State your name and address for the record, please.
Name's Harold Ritchie, Wheatfield, Indiana. I don't see any upside to the residents of Jasper County for this data center. I don't know what they're supposed to do. They collect all your information, everything you do through AI, and they sell it to somebody. What good does that do you? They tell where you go, when you go, how fast you go. Is it their business? The only people gonna make money off this are the billionaires like Elon Musk and what's his name? Bill Gates. It's not going to help the average person in Jasper County. You're going to lower water levels. You're going to pollute the water. You're going to drive our home values down. You're going to raise our electricity by 40 to 50%. You're going to devalue our homes. Well, I say no way. And that's all I got to say.
Okay. So anyone else sign the wrong list? Anyone else wish to speak on this particular cause?
I wish to speak. My name is Mary Ann Malin, and I am I unmuted?
Yes, ma'am. We can hear you.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Mary Ann Malin. I live at 9246 Aspen Court here in DeMott, Indiana, and really Jasper County buffer zone. So I'm requesting a no vote for this NIPSCO AWS application for PC 1726. So besides the fact that NIPSCO and Amazon have displayed a complete lack of respect for my Jasper County government by starting on projects without permission, unsigned contracts, unsigned commitments, and increasing the number of buildings from 9 to 13 and pushing for approvals before the release of the water study And then I find it hard to believe that 13 new buildings on that property are going to be leveraging and be the NIPSCO water and sewer, and that it's not going to be coming from the Kankakee River. We the people are looking at another corporate technocratic project that socializes the cost while privatizing the profits, just like Google and Amazon, which receive tons of federal funds, billions. So we the people will pay the cost in lost tax revenue at both the state and county levels, lost farmland, higher traffic, polluted air, polluted water, 24/7 noise, interrupting enjoyment of property, increased surveillance, and while stockholders like Blackstone and NiSource reap the financial rewards, right? So the promised jobs will not come to fruition because they're going to be replaced by the very AI the data center is intended to facilitate. So how is this any different from corporations right-sizing, increasing their own profits by having their employees train the lower cost workers who would eventually replace them? So we're basically bringing in a data center that's going to facilitate the AI that's going to take over the jobs from the people who are going to be building it. So it's called like Project Orion, whatever. I would look this up. So it's part of a long-running financial technocratic like centralization process. So everyday citizens are going to be subsidizing the infrastructure that enables greater corporate government control over behavior of the people through the data centers, wealth concentration and erosion of our local sovereignty, which is already revealing itself, and we're seeing it in how the people are speaking, and the Planning Commission will say no, and yet it's still being approved because we are being influenced by, you have somebody like Kendall Culp saying, well, we're going to force it anyway, even though you don't want it. So overriding the will of the actual people who don't want it. And then you have Indiana Connects running videos funded by Amazon, Microsoft, Google, and Meta. So it's pro data center, right? And it's based, paid for, right? They're paying the Resolute Group, which is based in Scottsdale, Arizona, to run Indiana Connects propaganda videos touting how to hundreds of millions of dollars for elementary school children. But what difference does it make if the children are too sick and tired to attend the school? And also, allegedly, the commissioners told me that it's really, they want to work with the high schools for like future workers, right? Future employees. So it's not it's ridiculous. So also Jasper County, so they designated the NIPSCO land economic revitalization zone, allowing for tax abatement, which will decrease taxes. So meanwhile, our infrastructure will cost more to maintain. I'm really finding anything positive about this, and it's.
You have 1 minute, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. So please vote no on PC 1726. And also it's harming farm animals. I don't know if you've seen the videos. There are multiple videos out there about farmers saying that their livestock is not, they're having stillbirths, and all sorts of health issues with the people who live near them. Please vote no. This has got to stop. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I think we had one gentleman. Yeah, come on up. No, okay. Wanting to speak. Okay. Go ahead, state your name and address, sir.
Yes, my name is Daniel Jablonski. I'm from 1299 East, 1225 North, Wheatfield, Indiana. And my main concerns is obviously the water strain on the community. I know a lot of the Wheatfield relies on well water, especially in the farmlands. What's going to happen with that? The graphics cards these data centers use. Well, typically they use the Blackwell GPU, and those have problems with their power cables itself. What are they going to do to maintain that? Like, for example, GPU fails, the whole thing burns. What's going to happen then? Power usage, bringing on all the generators. How much is that going to affect noise in the area? Because I live 1.5 miles from the proposed data center. Degrading over time. Like with the technology increasing and stuff, like how are we going to maintain? Are we, the taxpayers, gonna pay for the new technology coming out? Is Amazon gonna pay for it? Is NIPSCO gonna pay for it? Like, what's going on with that? Pollutants, if their water or air from all the generators that are gonna be running, you know, the price of all that. The water loop itself, is it gonna be using a closed water loop, or is it gonna be pulling water from our wells? If they're choosing a closed loop, how efficient is that loop gonna be? Is it gonna have any leakage? What's the efficiency rating on that? How much power is that gonna generate by itself? Housing value in the area. All the houses nearby, that's gonna drop dramatically. All the houses in town, it's gonna drop dramatically. And with city water, with them taking our well water away, is everyone gonna be forced to pay for city water, or is everyone gonna have the choice to drink the well water, which I mean, we're not really gonna have a choice with all the pollutants in there. I mean, that's just the negative overall. Sandhill cranes, that's the big thing around Wheatfield, that area. How is that gonna affect the Sandhill cranes itself? And all that stuff. Same with the security risk, like the previous lady said. Somebody can walk out with a device, grab the signals from that. What's the type of security do they have? Are they gonna be able to protect the data that's going in and out of this data facility, or is that all just gonna be whatever? And another thing, I mean, yes, this is going to generate work for like the unions, non-unions all around the area, but how long is that going to be? And it's not worth the couple of years it's going to take to build in the long run with all the negatives and everything that's going to be coming from this. That's all I have to say.
Okay. I think we have, I know, just a second, sir, we have two on Zoom wishing to speak that have been waiting. So is that Ashley? Ashley Williams, if you want to speak, you have 5 minutes.
Yeah, sure. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Thank you so much. Good evening, Plan Commission. My name is Ashley Williams. I reside at 401 First Street in Michigan City, and I'm the Executive Director of Just Transition Northwest Indiana. It's an environmental nonprofit, proudly serving Jasper County and the NWI region. I'm a Michigan City resident, as I mentioned, but I care deeply about my neighbors in Wheatfield and the surrounding areas. I also live by a Google AI data center in my backyard, and my community has already been suffering the consequences of this nightmare rush development. But members of the Plan Commission in December, you voted 6-3 against the data center rezone. To our dismay, the county commissioners did not heed your recommendation. They approved it with 9 commitments, rather. Community enhancement agreement, road use, water protections, and ratepayer safeguards. This morning, the commissioners met for a special meeting approving the NIPSCO and Amazon development agreements. The commitments discussed were called the zoning law of the land, but the road use agreement still hasn't been executed before grading could begin this week. Tonight, you vote on a primary plat approval for a $7 billion campus, and a yes vote tells Jasper County this infrastructure moves forward, which is the largest project in the county's history with a generational impact. And what does this yes approve? Well, the file packet shows 13 data center buildings, not the 9 Amazon advertised, covering 77% of the acreage plus backup generator areas and fuel zones. Amazon's pending application with IDEM lists 391 emergency diesel generators, a gigawatt of backup power, and millions of gallons of on-site diesel storage. Compounding this project's impact is NIPSCO's Schaefer expansion to power the data center, which we know are 4 new gas turbines emitting 7 million tons of CO2 a year, on top of an existing coal ash crisis at the plant, which is poisoning the groundwater at the site. Tonight you hold the plat, but a favorable recommendation locks in the land for entire area of the data center and the gas plant. So to correct the record of what was stated, this is no small administrative decision. I just want to say, please do remember who you're dealing with this primary approval. In New Carlisle, the Indiana Department of Environmental Management cited Amazon for unauthorized impacts on wetlands. And since there have been other violations that have come to surface. And in Hobart, as mentioned, another community that my organization supports, mass grading already is causing dust that is blanketing homes and vehicles and backyards where their children play. And this is extreme dust that they are having to endure day in and day out. This is really a concerning pattern with Amazon. Their construction and impacts occur before what communities are told permits will prevent. And Amazon has demonstrated not to be a good neighbor towards Hoosier communities. We do not want Jasper County to be the next. And so I want to say say that I do applaud this commission for voting down previous petitions, and today you still have the power rather to delay or deny. I urge you to recommend unfavorable action until a community enhancement agreement, road use, and development agreements are executed, and the community has the opportunity to adequately weigh in, and these are attached to the plat conditions. Please defer if you cannot verify compliance with developer commitments 1 through 9, and condition any future recommendations on no grading before final approval, a reconciliation of 9 buildings versus 13, and identification of all required wetland permits. And last, I want to ask is the road use agreement signed yet? Are the generators and gas plant layout and use on this plat attached as enforceable conditions? Or are they only in item filings you cannot vote on tonight? Please, please, please ensure enforcements don't come after the fact when it is too late. So just encouraging y'all, please do stay the course, do your due diligence as you have been, and please do make an unfavorable recommendation tonight. Thank you so much.
Hey, is that another Ashley, Ashley Hammock? Can you hear us? Ashley Hammock, we cannot hear you if you're talking. Ashley Hammock.
Yeah, can you hear me?
What's that?
Can you hear me?
Is this Ashley Hammock?
It is. Ashley
Okay.
Hammock, yep.
Yes, we can hear you now. Just please state your name and address, and you have 5 minutes.
Yeah, my name is Ashley Hammock. My address is 9951 South Evans Road, Brookston, Indiana, 47923. I don't live in Jasper County, but I am a candidate for House District 16 and a true representative of the people, and that's why I'm here today speaking on their behalf. I'd like to echo everything that was said previously about this project. You know, all of the things that were mentioned previously are relevant and should be taken into consideration. But I would like to focus my time on some other aspects of the project or other aspects that have not been mentioned, and that is the idea that, you know, the public can't see the whole picture when we're being given the picture one little piece at a time. And so what is happening is a strategy by the developer called piecemealing. I want to, you know, I know that the commission is very aware of what that term means, but I would also like to help educate any members of the public about what piecemealing is. And so it's a strategy that is used a lot of times by developers. And so when AWS, NIPSCO, and local boards split a single project into multiple isolated approvals, the public never sees the cumulative impact. Land consolidation today, that's what's on the table, is just a small piece of what's going on. Last time we met, it was approval for a parking lot. So next time it'll be, you know, power plant. Next time, then it'll be water drawdown, and each looks small on its own, and can get passage, but together they have this massive industrial footprint. This tactic, which it is a tactic, it's a strategic tactic, prevents residents, the public, from evaluating the real consequences, and in effect is trying on purpose, because they know what they're doing. It's trying to hoodwink us, the public. This approach undermines informed consent from the community. Indiana law expects public bodies like this one to provide enough information for meaningful public comment. A lot of people are very emotional over this, but and as you can tell, that they're talking about the larger project, which is not being addressed by this particular meeting. If the public is shown only fragments, they can't really give an informed input on what the commission should do. That is not transparency. That is, as I said, strategic omission. And if the developer knows what the entire project is going to look like, then let's see it. Let's see the whole thing. Let's put it out in front of the entire in front of the public all at once, and rather than having folks sign non-disclosure agreements. Piecemealing shifts the risk onto taxpayers while shielding corporations. AWS and NIPSCO know that if the entire project were presented at once, land use, water use, power generation, transmission lines,
you have 1 minute.
Tax abatements, the public would demand accountability. By slicing it up, they avoid scrutiny and push each piece through before residents can connect the dots. This is a tactic and prevents proper environmental and infrastructure review. Environmental impacts are cumulative: water consumption, groundwater drawdown, noise, emissions from the generator, transmission infrastructure, and reviewing each component separately guarantees that cumulative impacts are never evaluated.
30 seconds.
It violates the spirit of comprehensive planning. County planning is supposed to evaluate projects holistically. A data center, a dedicated power generator is one project, not two. Treating them as separate projects is a workaround to avoid scrutiny that a unified review would require. And it erodes public trust in the process. And that's where
Your time is up, sir. Time is up.
That's where the commission is in danger. That's where you guys' positions are in danger because it erodes public trust. And I'll stop there.
Anyone else on Zoom? I don't see. Okay, come on forward, sir. I think you signed the sheet.
Yes.
Yep.
Thank you so much. My name is John Killian, 7354 North Rustic Drive in DeMont. I would like to read you a definition. The definition goes like this: a person's adherence to moral principles, integrity, ethical conduct, and the fulfillment of duties or commitments that are valued by a community, culture, or personal code. It involves acting in a way that is considered worthy of respect. But I want to underline this part of that definition: the fulfillment of duties or commitments that are valued by a community, culture, or personal code. That definition is for the word honor. This is your community. Your responsibility is to these people. Amazon, Google, they've already showed they don't work in an honorable way. They violate, they mislead, they piecemeal. Honor is a very rare virtue these days. But the definition of honor, the fulfillment of duties or commitments that are valued by a community. We're looking to you guys. Honor. There's not a lot of it going around anymore. We're begging you, do the honorable thing. Represent your people. Represent your families, your children, our families, our children.
Please. Can't hear him talk. We cannot hear him talk. Go ahead.
No amount of monetary incentive can compensate for the loss of honor. Judas sold his soul for 30 pieces of silver. No amount of monetary incentive can accommodate for the loss of the trust that you've been given by us. So we implore you, do this with honor for the people you represent. Thank you.
Anyone else wish to speak on this cause? Have you signed the sheet, ma'am? If anyone else, while she is doing that, again, it allows things to be efficient so that everybody gets a chance. So if you even think you're wanting to speak, please come up and sign the sheet so that we can, again, keep things moving efficiently here.
microphone down.
Yep,
Thank you
go
again. Thank
ahead.
you again for the opportunity to speak. I appreciate it. And I'm at 5248 West 1150 North in Wheatfield.
What was the name?
Oh, Laura Mendenhall.
Okay, go ahead.
Yep. And this is the third time I've been up here to speak, and I can't, in my good conscience, not speak out. I have concerns about the air. I have asthma. With the diesel generators, I have a lot of concerns. I have a lot of concerns about the water usage, and just hearing that Wheatfield may go on city water brings even more concerns for me. Will residents be regulated how much water they can use in lieu of the usage from Amazon? Those are great concerns for me. And honestly, today, like I said, this is the third time I've been up here. I implore you to do a environmental impact study before you proceed with this. And frankly, today I spent most of the day, I knew I would probably come up here and speak, and what do I talk about? Where do I even begin? But ultimately, there's a lot of things I could say. There's a lot of stories I could tell. But in the end, 10 years from now, that's a story that Mother Nature will tell. Thank you.
Thank you. Whoever else has signed it, I know there's two people, the gentleman back there, you come back forward. Okay. Go ahead, name and address, please.
My name is Greg Lenz. I live at 371 East, 675 North, Rensselaer. And I'm concerned about the data center and all the, I don't know what useful purpose that serves the human being. Can you name one positive thing that comes from that? Apparently not. So you must be in disagreement with having these things. Because my understanding is when they start pumping out that information, they're going to pump it all into our phones, in our homes. It's going to go in our cars. And we ain't able to get away from it. And all the people that live away, like in town, it's going to get them too. There's got to be any stopping it. Because once the communists get in here, and that's China's behind all this crap, that and Bill Gates, and everybody's going to be gobbled up by it. And there's not going to be anywhere to go or hide. And I think we should consider all that, We do have a way of life out here in the country, and we like it. I know I do. I moved out here. And I hope you all say no to that data center. I really do. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. I think there was one other gentleman I saw. Yep. Again, anybody else wishing to sign while the next person's speaking, please do so. Go ahead. Name and address.
Terry Sprouse, 6112 North 600 East, Madeiryville. I believe this is approximately 3 to 4 miles from where I live. Been listening to all of this. I try to pride myself on kind of being a simple, no nonsense, common sense kind of guy. And it really just comes down to something. It's not like this is new. If I understand right, there's over 4,000 of these centers in the US right now. Is there one community, when I say community, I mean the residents, that says that that was a good idea? We have 4,000 examples before us. Are there any of them that are happy with the decision to put that in? I leave it with that.
Okay. What else we got? Yep, come on. Name and address, please.
Green Bontrager, 3193 West Clark Street. And I guarantee I won't get any applause because I was one of the commissioners that voted for it today. And we talked about honor and responsibilities. As a commissioner, we have responsibilities that encompass the entire county. When I look at neighboring counties with communities that have neighbors, wells, and septics too close, that causes concern for me. And as a commissioner, we've been talked to many years that Wheatfield area has been overlooked and underserved. And we have the opportunity here to get infrastructure for the town to help development.
Please, he is allowed to speak as everyone else was. Please be
Okay, I
respectful.
understand. But I want to give the Plan Commission a few of the numbers that we talked about today. And the commissioners and the council have been wrangling with this topic for many months. We don't take it lightly, and none of us are independently doing this, but we're looking at conditions changing at the state level that determines how do we fund basic services within the county. Fire, EMS, law enforcement for public safety. The trend line, because of moves at the state level, are going to be reducing the assessed valuation growth in the county, meaning our income is going to be reduced. And I would think one of our primary responsibilities is that when you dial 911, you're going to get a response. You're going to get somebody to answer and be there quickly. We know we have a lot of issues here that you guys have talked about. Topic number one, the water. They're going to use the same water infrastructure that NIPSCO has used for 50 years. Nothing new.
Please, he deserves the chance to speak as you all did. Please.
Nothing new. Jasper County is the state of Indiana's top overall ag producing county. Why would we want to actively jeopardize literally our bread and butter? There are farmers that populate the council and farmer related guys with the commissioners. So we're mindful of what is truly got us to this place. And we have tried to endeavor to not be overrun by any of these types of projects. We have some wind, we have some solar, and as you folks have endured, some of the difficulties that came as a result of solar that we didn't know what we didn't know. And we're endeavoring to approach
Please.
We're endeavoring to approach this project with some of the hard lessons we've learned in regards to construction compliance, making sure that our local codes and concerns and the way it's built is as promised. So we do have an economic impact agreement, which is going to be money that'll be advanced rather quickly to address EMS equipment and for the fire department in Wheatfield and the townships Walker, Kankakee in that area. The county has already used some EDA money from other projects to the tune of nearly $1 million to help fund those areas. We recognize another cliff that we're facing is it's been impressed upon us that our local volunteer fire departments in a few years, some of them aren't going to be able to staff people to answer calls during the day. To set up the fire district is adding another tax. We were looking at options. We're doing a study to try to figure out how do we start infusing full-time staffing during the day when there are some critical shortages of volunteer help. Some of this funding is going to help go towards that. We're going to be collecting $5 million for fire.
You have 1 minute.
Okay, got it. And I'll be happy to stay and talk with anybody after the fact to go over the points with you. Point is, we have taken this situation seriously. The money for Wheatfield water was from a study that the town had already done to know how much it was going to cost. So it's not like the county's coming here trying to tell you guys what to do, but we do see an underserved area, one town of the 4 that we have, without the ability to provide utility services to be able to have growth for business within the town and for residential expansion. As you know, there is a community in our county to the west where they have problems with contamination because wells and septics are too close. And that's a problem. And as commissioners, that's a responsibility we take seriously. And I know I'm not gaining any friends with you guys. I understand that. But we're looking at the whole county. How do we responsibly fulfill our duties as
That's time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
If you guys have any questions later on, happy to follow. Thank you.
Hey, who do we have next? I think I saw a couple people come on forward. Yep. Name and address, please.
My name is Anna Carlson. My address is 4110 East, 900 North. I live in Fair Oaks, Indiana. I'm not a resident of Jasper County by any means, of course. Thank you for taking the time this evening to listen to all of us. I do hope that some of it is heard truly and you take it to heart. I have a couple concerns as well, being a neighbor of Wheatfield. I have family who live in DeMott who will be closer to the proposed data center than I will personally. However, my concerns are also for my countrymen as well as for my neighbors. First, I just like to address the ethical responsibility that you gentlemen have on this commission. It is not only to the due process of the proposal, but it is also, I'd like to remind you, to your own brethren, your own countrymen, your own fellow residents of the county, as well as neighboring counties. I think this goes far beyond just a legal issue. I personally perceive it as a human rights issue and an ethical problem. I think that this proposal is, as I heard many people say, who I'm proud to echo in their sentiments, that there's a lot of loopholes here, and namely the one that I'd like to speak about is the vague proposal, the lack of specifics here. We don't have all of the knowledge, and I think that is very purposeful as well. I don't think it's fair to propose something to the county without a full picture and giving everyone 100% of the information, even though we all know we're all adults, right? We all understand what's going into this project and what's going to come out of it. My biggest concern, if we're jumping ahead to what will be put on this lot as a data center, is an infringement of my own personal privacy, my own right to privacy, the right to privacy of my family, my friends, and again, my countrymen. I understand that I have an Apple iPhone. I'm wearing an Apple Watch. Terms and conditions apply, and I don't typically read those. No one really does, do they? However, this is another further level of that, wherein they are collecting everything, they're tracking, and it's another step toward a possible totalitarian regime, a surveillance regime. And if any of you have served in the military, I'm sure you can come to an appreciation of where that can lead, given the past of the world and the country as well. I'd also like to point out that despite the gentleman who was just speaking, assuring that the water will be good and, air pollutants and everything, it's going to be okay, I would just like to point out that in lieu of all of the recent storms in the area, NIPSCO has barely been able to provide power, let alone any access to water. My family ourselves, after the first tornado in February, March came through, we live close to Lake Village, and we were not hit personally, but our supply was out for almost a week. And I can't even imagine what that will look like once this goes through, because I do believe it is inevitable. Again, I would just like to urge you to consider, if you have children, if you have grandchildren, what the future would look like with all of these, despite the protocol being followed. Just because it's being followed doesn't necessarily mean that it's the correct decision. It's not, again, ethically the correct decision for you to make, especially given the piles of evidence that have been laid before you by your countrymen and fellow American citizens.
1 minute.
I would just urge you to vote no. I don't think you can put your head in the sand and say, well, it follows protocol, so it's got to go through. I think that we all have a responsibility to each other, to our neighbors. Again, I would just urge you to vote no, please. Thank you.
Thank you. Who do we have next? Anybody else? Again, anyone else wishing to speak, please sign while the next person is speaking. Go ahead, sir. Name and address.
Kevin Rice, 9917 North 200 East. Again, everybody's brought up information about the data center's water usage and the other electric usage. The sound is what hasn't been brought up a lot. Now, they're saying that these are emitting sounds in all other areas up to 4 miles 4 miles around the data center, the dull humming. I don't know how many of you guys live in the area, but I live real close to the area. That worries me. Worries me with my grandson, worries me with my dog, and it worries me with myself, my own mental health. Are we going to do any kind of testing, noise testing, before the data centers go up? Because from what they're saying in Illinois and places like that, people that are bringing up that there's noises, their rebuttal is, well, you have no recordings from before the data center. How do we know it's from the data center? We need legs to stand on, whether it be the water, testing the air. We need a leg to stand on as citizens in Jasper County. The other question that I have is for the commissioner. Now, you said that we have a local community that the wells are too close and people have been sick and whatnot. Other than giving you a reason now for the vote the way you did, why wasn't that looked at before? Why are we bringing it up now? So now you have a reason to do what you're doing.
Yeah.
Other thing, like I said,
this, direct any questions towards this group, please, because he's already spoken. So.
Okay, so don't speak to the commissioner.
You can talk to him on your own. But
okay.
Like I said,
all right, then I'll do it. Then I just hope you guys see, the community, everybody here, the way we're feeling, and I hope you guys vote no to this. This is ridiculous. We don't need it here. Let them build it in Maryville.
Thank you. Who's next? Anyone else? Yeah. Have you signed the sheet, man? Okay.
My name is Jennifer Nesius Porter, and I live on 11788 South 180 West of Remington, Indiana. I didn't really want to speak tonight, but because I thought I probably would get emotional. Not only are you guys proposing the data center, but there's going to be a data center probably 5 miles from our house in White County, and it borders Jasper, so it's really close. And they haven't passed it yet. They haven't sold it, but we've done a lot of research. And these things are not good. And I'm telling you, I battled cancer. I fought it. My dad died of it last year, a year and a half ago. The Neesies have been here since 1880, and they love their land. And this is going to destroy land. And it's all going to be data centers someday. It's more than likely what's going to happen. And you can deny it, but there's been tons of research. It does so much damage. My dad's probably rolling over in his grave. But I tell you, it's a legacy. I was a preschool teacher for 15 years, and I tell you, I care about the children. I may not live. I've had cancer. You know what? I'm thinking of my children and my grandchildren, and it is important. And that lady talked about jobs. These data centers, Bill Gates said himself, by 2030, it will take away 20 million jobs. That's why these children are mad, the ones who are graduating from college and may not have jobs. Please care about us, care about this land that our fathers love and we love. We love being in the country, and we love we used to love our country. I don't know what's happening, but I tell you what, I love my land and I love my neighbors and I care about you all. Please do what's right. Be honorable. Thank you.
Okay, who's next? Anyone else? Once, twice. Okay, we will close public comment on this cause. Would the applicant come forward? What's that? I would just. Okay, anyone else wish to speak on this particular cause? Okay, this will be the last one.
Hello, my name is Janice Lenz. I live on 375 North East. I can't even say my address. I'm not a speaker.
It's okay.
371 East, 675 North Rensselaer. My concern is my husband just retired. I don't make very much money at my job. So we're on a fixed income now. And with them saying maybe water coming in, the public water, you have to pay for that. Our bills now are pretty much taking all that we're making. And so to add on more bills to us is going to X us out. I don't know how we'll survive. As far as the NIPSCO plant, that's more pollution in our area. The smokestacks already are putting out all kinds of not good air for us. I'm having a harder time climbing our hill when I go and get our mail. Because I think I have asthma. I love to grow my garden. And I don't want to be outside hearing a buzzing noise that's going to drive me crazy. I'm trying to do my garden. We love to watch birds. Are the birds going to disappear? Is this noise, this pollution, all this going to kill the birds or chase them away? The water. When we had a drought a few years ago, it took our water and we had to drill a well deeper than what it was. We didn't get real good water like what we had. So if this takes our water away and we even have to drill even deeper, what kind of nasty water are we going to wind up having? We won't be able to live with that kind of water. And like I said, we won't be able to afford to pay for city water either. I think that's about all that I have to say. I am worried about all the children. I hear there's asthma that is caused by this data center. Just the pollution is enough. I hope that you guys can have it in your heart to vote no on this, the NIPSCO and the data center, and think of the future that we have, the future of our children to come. If there is no animals around, no gardening, no water to drink, how is our future of our children supposed to live and carry on in our county that we love so much, that we have raised our children in? How are they supposed to raise their children? And that's all I have to say. Please, please vote no.
Okay, thank you. All right, is there anyone else that wishes to speak? Please sign the sheet again, so we can keep things moving. Do you wish to speak? Okay, please, anyone else out there, please, anyone outside, come in, sign the sheet and just wait there, so that we can keep things moving.
Hello, my name is Samantha Schreiber. I live at 12175 West Snowbon Lane. I think my biggest concern is my grandparents moved here 48 years ago from Chicago. They left because of violence and they moved to the country because they love the country. They live on well water, grew up on their land. And their concern for it, as long as mine, is the water pollution, the light pollution, the sound pollution. You're going to affect our birds, which sounds really dumb, but I've watched 4 nests hatch this year in my own yard, and having sound come out consistently is going to affect that. Our water, we live on well water. It's great. We can drink out of the tap. We don't have to worry about softener or anything. And making it where we have to go to city water, we would have to then do softener, and that includes more prices. Also, would the AI center affect the emissions that are put into our environment? Because down the line, would that not require an emission test, which then ultimately costs all of us more money, which is really not great. Last thing I have is, what are we actually gaining from the AI center except for the funds to help our EMS firefighters, which obviously we need, it's important to have, but are there not other ways that we can come together as a community to support and fund those, or provide training
So we have future in our education system coming up. Also, our Wheatfield Elementary School is right there. I think it's less than 4 miles, so that sound pollution would affect the kids at recess. They wouldn't be hearing each other screaming, playing. The kids who have like disabilities who are affected by sound, is that sound going to affect them? Are they going to be unable to play outside because the sound is too much and the headphones they have can't block that out? Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, we will close public comment on this cause. Where's the applicant? If they would come forward, you have 5 minutes to speak. Go ahead.
Thank you. And thank you to everyone that spent their evening talking about a very important and personal and emotional topic. I know that this period is usually used for rebuttal. I didn't really hear anything that was provided that states that we are in violation of the ordinance as it relates to the plat. The comments that were made were about land use, water, and a number of other topics that are not germane to a plat approval. A plat approval is simply an engineered drawing that says here's where property lines are and here's where utilities go, easements, and roads. It's not a trial for the overall project itself. And so when we look at the requirements for approval of the plat, again, the Jasper County Code states that if all of the requirements are met, the commission shall approve the primary plat. And so, as I mentioned earlier, we've met all of those. I think the only person that spoke on the topic specifically of the plat and of the requirements was the engineering consultant who testified that every item was met, every item was answered, and every item was addressed that the county provided the applicant for plat approval. So with that said, there is a like it or not, a due process question here of were these 5 requirements met? And I would just echo that that is the scope and limit of this meeting. While all those other topics are quite important, they are not germane to this meeting and what this body is asked to review at a plat meeting, plat review, plat approval. I'm happy to answer any questions that anyone has. I think the only other item I was going to mention is someone asked, so now are we going to zone this I2? Does that mean everything's I2 in here? Again, the zoning has already taken place. This is not a zoning hearing. The I2 zoning has already been voted on. Again, this is specifically related to the plat, the engineered drawings, the property lines, and our request to change the property lines to combine 3 parcels into 1 so that we can more effectively design and move the project into a more central location away from rights of ways and other property lines. Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions for the applicant while he's up here? Do you have any insight on the process that I think you mentioned due process and a shall, which I'm not a lawyer, but I know those are lawyer legal terms. If you could pull your mic down and just if you have any input on our behalf.
But no, I would agree that if those 5 requirements, if the Plan Commission is confident that they've heard from the applicant, from remonstrators, those in support, and that those requirements have been met, it does say that they shall approve. This is a primary plat. It's not a final approval. I would agree with Mr. Dickinson in that regard.
And the the 5 items, guys, if you recall, when we do a subdivision plat, we have to go through those. Those are in chapter 20.90 start on page 29 and then continue on the back page there, the same ones that we have used before. That's the findings that you were referenced. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Thank you, Todd. Any other questions or anything for the applicant while they're standing forward? Okay, so
And then I would just say formally for the record, we would request a favorable recommendation for the plat approval.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so it's back to the Plan Commission here for discussion, questions. Everybody find the findings of fact. I know the applicant did read those as we would have to if we had a motion.
Kent, I guess I want to.
Go ahead, Dave.
Comments. This meeting has nothing to do with the approval of a data center. It has to do with the land, which probably we should pass, but I felt from the beginning that this commission has been deceived. And the people that represented the project aren't here, so you're going to unfortunately take the brunt of this. We asked 18 months, 2 years possibly ago. This board flat out asked when the representative of NIPSCO came and spoke, they want to rezone or we said, what's your plan? Oh, we don't have any. Bullshit. No, not quite. You can agree or disagree, but keep your clapping to yourself. Because you probably won't agree with everything I'm going to say. And I think 2 years ago, they knew what the end result they wanted. And like Mr. Hammock said, if I'm saying it correctly, they come in pieces. And we ask questions. Well, when you're deceived, lied to, blue sky, whatever you want to call it, once, how can I trust you the next time? And that's the way I feel. And the other thing is, I think we're here to represent you folks. And sometimes we don't agree what's best. For example, Rain brought up a thing about your possible sewer problems and water problems in Wheatfield. Well, I don't know, but maybe 20, 30 years ago, the town board said, we need to do this. And you folks went in and complained because you're going to have debt, public debt that you had to pay off. But you would have had clean water today too. You wouldn't have been polluting your own water. So there's give and take there. You're going to bite the bullet. Sometimes I personally think that income from taxes from big corp sometimes costs you more than the benefit. But are you willing to pick up the tab for that benefit? So there's give and take there. But my biggest concern is water. Just the availability of water. They say they use so many gallons, millions of gallons of water a day. 75% of it, they told us, this was their words, what goes up in evaporation. Only 25% goes into your Kankakee River. And a lot of that water didn't come from the Kankakee. It came out of wells that they pumped up. So is that going to affect groundwater, eventually farming? You know, we learned a big lesson, or I hope we learned a lesson, that when we sold out for solar farms, that big isn't always better. I've always been a proponent. A lot of people, especially I'm not political. I voted Democrat, Republican, both, but the Washington Democrats hate rich people because we want to tax them. Well, I kind of like rich people, because if it wasn't for rich people, those that are truly honorable, I and a lot of you wouldn't have had jobs. So to just hate rich people isn't good either. But the biggest complaint I have at this point is I feel deceived, lied to, whatever you want to call it. And for that, I'd make a motion for an unfavorable recommendation.
Would it be an unfavorable recommendation, or how does, because this does not go to the plan commission?
No,
To the commission.
it's going to be an approval or denial, and you should vote on each one of these 5 findings separately, just like we do when we're doing the variance or whatever. We're not doing it the same way, but you should vote on each one of those.
Okay. So Dave, you want to restate, do you understand that this does not go to the commissioners?
It does not go to the commissioners?
No, this is like a subdivision. It's actually the reverse of a subdivision.
I'd move to deny.
Move to deny. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Moved and seconded to deny. So we will go through the findings of fact and vote one by one.
Yes.
Is that correct? Okay. So I will read the findings of fact here, and we will vote one by one. And we'll do raise a hand. So either that you agree with the findings of fact, or per the motion that you disagree with the finding of fact. Okay, so number 1, subdivision land is consistent with the Jasper County Comprehensive Plan. In favor? Tell me when you guys get what you need. Unfavored. Okay. Number 2, subdivision of land satisfies the development requirements of chapter 20.60 Jasper County Code subdivision types. In favor? And opposed? Okay. The third one, subdivision of land satisfies the standards of chapter 20.70 Jasper County Code design standards. In favor? And against? Okay. Number 4, subdivision of land satisfies any other applicable provisions of the Unified Development Code. In favor? And against? Okay. And then number 5, the subdivision of land satisfies the construction requirements of Jasper County's construction standards. In favor? And against? That's it. Do we vote on all of them at once to adopt?
You've already voted on them.
Okay.
Each one of those would require a majority vote of the entire board. And I'm asked Mary or Kelly to confirm whether we takes 5, right? And I wasn't counting as the voting, but even if one of these fails, then it's denied.
Yeah, they were 4-2, I believe, on all those. So
essentially you did not find all the findings in the affirmative, which is required for an approval.
Okay.
So it's effectively a denial.
All right. So clear on that, guys? Okay. Let's see here. That's the last item on the agenda. I believe next meeting was, what was that date again?
July 20th.
July 20th. Anyone else have any Anything before we entertain a motion to adjourn? Moved by Dave to adjourn. Do we have a second?
Support.
Okay. All those in favor of adjourning this meeting signify by saying aye.
Can I ask for a clarification?
You can come up here and talk to Todd. All those in favor of adjourning the meeting signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Okay, meeting's adjourned.
But it takes less than 9.